Hello everyone and welcome once again for another video review, this time taking a look at the brand new Transformers The Last Knight Voyager-class Optimus Prime. And I can tell you right now, wow, what a vast improvement over the last Optimus Prime figures that we got from the Age of Extinction line. This thing definitely beats them all. Now, is it perfect? No, it's not 100% perfect, but and I'll touch on a couple of things that I think could be improved on it. But overall, great Voyager figure. If I'm just going to flat out say it, if you haven't picked them up already, please go ahead and do so because you will not be disappointed. So, looking at a couple of things right off the bat, got them at Toys R Us today. Fortunately, they are already having a nice little 25% off sale. I was able to get this guy for $30 instead of the $40 that Voyagers are going for now. So that was kind of nice, especially since they were only released last week. Packaging, pretty nice. Nice, detailed picture of Optimus there that wraps around just like the other ones. Premier edition, of course. Minimal bio, just like the other figures that I've reviewed in this line so far. Earth's greatest protector. Yep, I guess so. Even though he pretty much dies in every film, but he definitely does everything that he can to protect the Earth. Nice little picture on the back here. You got the Prime in his robot mode, Prime in his vehicle mode, also Grimlock, and I did a previous review on Grimlock, so if you haven't checked that out, go ahead and check it out. I would really appreciate it if you left your opinion on what you thought of it. But I was pretty happy with that figure as well. So the two Voyagers that I've got so far from this line have definitely been good. So that's pretty much it for the packaging. It's pretty straightforward, so I'll move that out of the way for now. Instructions, yep, pretty standard instructions compared to what the rest of the figures are coming with. You get a nice long instruction sheet that goes from robot to vehicle and does not go back to bot mode, but it's pretty straightforward. He's not a tough transformation. Yeah, so there's that. As far as the figure itself goes, there's a lot of detail on this guy. Let's see if I can get it to focus a little bit better, but the molded detail on him is really nice. There's all kinds of, the details in his calves, on his arms, on his chest, that nice silver. His face is a pretty nice face sculpt. Definitely needs some paint touch-ups, but it looks pretty good. Definitely on the eyes too. Those big blue eyes need to be fixed a little bit. But yeah, otherwise really nice detail on the legs there too. His feet has nice sculpted detail. Not nearly as much kibble on this guy as previous Optimus Prime molds. His legs are still a little bit chunky in the back there, but and he does have a backpack, but compared to what we got in previous ones, this is a lot smaller. So they've really done a good job of figuring out how to compress that. And yeah, we still do have a little bit of backpack, but overall it's a big improvement over the last one. One thing that I do have a bit of a pet peeve on this guy is the way that they molded the smokestacks. Now you can kind of see, and the previous Leader Prime had this problem as well, where they left the hollow part of the smokestacks, or they molded it in such a way that the hollow part of the smokestacks faces forward when he's in bot mode. So when you're displaying them on your shelf, as most people will like this, you can see those hollow smokestacks. If you turn them around, you can see on the back, they're filled in. Now, why couldn't they design the mold so that you're going to have this ugly, empty, hollow chunk on each of these exhaust stacks? Why couldn't they put that on the back where you're not going to see it? Honestly. But, I mean, maybe if you paint those silver, it'll be less obvious. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm going to obviously do some paint overhaul on this guy because, all of this sort of dark gray plastic and these smokestacks and his feet and all that stuff need to be shiny silver. So they will be shortly. The other thing that I don't really like is the baby blue color on his shield. I really wish that they had done a more movie accurate deco on his shield. I know that he's got like some red pieces in there and some, some of the blue from his actual truck mode color in there, and then the rest of it is pretty much silver. So that'll be a paint overhaul on that as well. But other than that, I mean, it's really nice. Like, I'm pretty happy with it. So yeah, it's definitely worth picking up. I like the sword storage as well that he's got on his back. Again, paint This thing is not orange, it's silver. Don't paint stuff. If it should be silver, paint it silver. So that'll be getting a paint overhaul as well. But he's got a little slot on his back there. You can kind of see that the sword tucks in, and he can have it sort of sheathed on his back there, and that looks really cool. So if you don't want to have him holding it all the time, you can put it in there. But he does hold it really nicely, and I think that looks really good. So with some new paint apps, and I've seen some collectors have already grabbed a hold of this guy and repainted him, and they just look absolutely tremendous. So when you get some paint on this figure, maybe Takara will release a more painted up movie accurate version. But if you paint this guy up, I guarantee you'll be really impressed with just how movie accurate you can get him. So I intend to do that. One thing that I wanted to do that I haven't seen a lot of other reviewers do, at least not to the extent that I'm hoping to do it, is I want to do some side-by-side comparisons of this guy compared to some of the other Optimus Prime figures that we've got over the years. And I'm going to start with this guy. This is the this was originally released in the Revenge of the Fallen line. This is a different deco from it. This actually was part of the Dark of the Moon line, but it's the Revenge of the Fallen mold. This was originally the Voyager-class Battle Blades Prime mold, and then they re-released it a couple of different times. This is the Battle Hooks version that was from like a Dark of the Moon gift set. I think it was like Battle in Space or something like that. But again, I've heavily painted this guy up. He didn't have all of the silver that you see on him, but this was really renowned as one of the best Optimus Prime figures that we've got. It was incredibly detailed for a Voyager class. The transformation is very, very complex, but it looks great in both modes. Very, very little kibble, relatively speaking, on the back. A little bit of a backpack, but everything looks great. It was basically a leader class figure in a Voyager class size. He does have the fold-out battle hooks there, which is really cool. But this was a great figure, and for a long time, this was sort of the gold standard for movie Optimus Prime Voyager figures. Now, after this guy, I don't have it because it was terrible, but there was a Dark of the Moon Voyager-class Prime, and it was awful. When you compared the Dark of the Moon Voyager Prime to this mold Voyager Prime, there was no comparison. It was just awful, so I don't even have it. But what I do have that I can show you kind of a progression or sort of the middle step is Evasion Mode Optimus Prime. And again, this guy was very well received by collectors as being a great transformation. There is virtually no kibble anywhere on this guy at all. Everything hides really well. It was a brilliant transformation. Everything packs in really tight, and it was a cool mold. It was a nice sort of nod to the G1 fans because he has the cab over truck design. And this is the deco from the Toys R Us exclusive Breakout Battle pack. I had to get this one because this is the one that, in my opinion, was the most affordable way to get a movie accurate deco on this mold. So this is the one that I got because he's all kind of rusty and gray, and really does a nice version of that, of how he looked in the film. So we basically go from like the original trilogy movies to Age of Extinction, first part of it, Age of Extinction, second part of it, and then now into The Last Night. But this really does a good job of, sticking to the high quality, movie detailed Voyager-class Optimus Prime figures. So you're definitely getting this is the figure that really makes the most sense if you want to have a collection of Voyager-class Primes. Absolutely. So, that being said, I'm going to move these guys kind of to the side a little bit so that I can do a couple more comparisons. So here we have the Voyager class from The Last Night, and this is what I'm going to show you guys to compare. That is the Leader class, not the first edition, but the mainline release, the Leader class version from Age of Extinction. As you can see, a lot of paint apps that I've added on this guy, and even with all of that paint work, I still look at them and just kind of go, ugh, like I'm just not impressed with this mold. It was just a giant shell. I mean, it's more of an action figure than a transformer. It's just, you know, the shell of the truck unfolds around him, and there you go. And I mean, granted, that's kind of what this guy is too, but he just does a better job of it. This was, you know, they have these giant chunks of truck on it, and they just kind of left it there, and they could have like figured out a way to put a couple more hinges in and make it cleaner and tighter like they did with this guy. It's possible. You can do it. Why didn't they do it with this? They should have spent an extra, I don't know, however long it would have taken to get a better transformation out of this guy, and it would have been a million times better. But be that as it may, this is what we got, leader class. I painted him up as best I could, and I still am not happy with it. Pretty sure I'm going to sell this guy, but that remains to be seen. So you can see he does have the giant backpack. You know, he's got these massive bell-bottom feet, leg things with all the truck mode on it. Yellow windows. Why? Oh, God, I hate when they do stuff like this. Why did they put yellow windows on it? All it had to do was either be black plastic, clear plastic, frosted plastic, anything but yellow. He didn't have yellow windows in the movie. Don't put yellow windows on the figure. Anyway, that's my vent for the day. So you can kind of see, like, this was I think a $50 or a $55 toy at the time, Canadian dollars, maybe 60 even. I was fortunate to get it on sale because they had a ton of these shelf warming for a long time. This guy I got for $30, and it's a million times better than this. Well, maybe not a million, but man, it's definite improvement. If I spend the same amount of time painting up this figure as I did this guy, he's going to look amazing. So yeah, definitely a vast improvement in terms of design, engineering, style, look, everything goes to the Voyager class. And just to give you guys one last comparison, just because I love showing this figure off, but this is the other Leader Prime. This is the Revenge of the Fallen mold, but actually it's the Dark of the Moon because he's got the updated abdomen section there. But this was the jet wing version of the Prime, the Amazon exclusive, so he's got the wings with the blue stripes on it. But this guy, again, you know, just like most of my other Primes, this guy I heavily painted, heavily customized him, and he looks almost identical now to the movie The Best Prime that Hasbro released. But I mean, this is a masterpiece Prime, you know, bar none. I know that they are coming out with now a new official, you know, movie masterpiece Prime. But this guy, I mean, I really don't think I'm even going to bite on it because everything that you get in that movie masterpiece, I've pretty much got right here. You know, he's got the add-on swords, he's got the Buster Cannon, he's got the great paint job that I threw on him. You know, he's got the updated ab section, which is looking better. It's the great transformation. He's got the face mask, which I wanted. It's fantastic. So this is sort of the collection of movie Primes that I have. And this is the only one that I'm really disappointed with. This is the only one that I really don't like. This guy, thank you Hasbro for putting him out because he's great. I will do just sort of a couple of other size comparisons. So I'll get these Primes out of the way, especially that one. And that nice shiny one out of the way. But here's the Voyager Prime with the new Voyager Grimlock, which I did a review on already. Hopefully, if you guys haven't checked it out, you'll take a look at it. One thing I did on this guy that I'm just going to call out is I painted up his face to be silver, and I gave him red eyes just like he has in the movie. So that's one little minor paint app that I did on him to make him a little different. But these guys look good together. I mean, yeah, you know, Optimus should be a lot smaller than Grimlock, but on a shelf they look good. Crosshairs, that's the Age of Extinction one. And just move these guys back a little bit so you can see a little bit better. So Age of Extinction Crosshairs, Age of Extinction Bumblebee, Age of Extinction Hound. So yeah, the movie line figures with this Voyager now added into the mix is looking really, really nice. Really nice. So, without further ado, let's get on to the transformation for this guy. It's pretty simple, but it's also pretty you know, pretty fun actually. I've done it just once, but I think I've got it down. So you just pop his shield off. You definitely got to take his sword out there. We can set those to the side for a bit. And then we are going to start with his chest and arms. So first thing you do is pop his, you slide these little pec guards down. They just sort of rotate down like that. Then his chest, pop his chest out like that, and it kind of just hinges down. fold his head in, and then this just kind of sits out like that at a 90. Fold his arms up like that, rotate them in, they kind of pop out from a hinge there, so rotate them in, and then rotate those. And then what you'll do is kind of rotate those, that's how you do, rotate those in all the way, and then these kind of collapse on itself like that. These pop up and then go in like that. Yeah, so we go like this. And one thing that you'll notice is that there's a little tab. Let me see if I can focus a little bit better there. There's a little tab right there that goes into a little hole right there. So this kind of like rotates up and then tabs into that little hole on there to keep everything kind of nice and tight and organized. There we go. His flame pieces of the hood, they just kind of fold down like that. Again, rotate that around, and then this folds forward. And then, so you just kind of leave those there for now, just like so. And then you basically rotate the entire bottom section 180 degrees. Next, pop that off the side. You'll see there's a tab, or a tab there and a hole there. That's where that pops into. So you tab that out and kind of rotate it down like that. And this is on a ball joint. And what you'll do is then flip this up and rotate it all the way around till it clips into the front there. That kind of forms part of the front of his cab. Let's do the same on the other side here. Pop that out, rotate it down, flip that like that. There we go. Next, what you're going to do is pop the foot out like that. And you'll see there's a little tab there, hole there. That's where that slots into, just like that. So pop that out. And then this whole thing swings up. Rotate this like so, and then fold the foot down, and then that little tab goes into that little slot, just like that. Same on the other side. Untab the foot, flip it around, tab it back in on that side, and then kind of just flip that like that for now. Now, what you're going to do is, so his legs were like that. You're going to just rotate them so that the kneecaps face each other, just like that. Then these little pieces here kind of rotate 180 degrees around there. And then you will be able to see that that forms sort of his trailer hitch kind of thing. And then there's a post, tab, hole, slot. Slow that stuff in there, like that. And there you've got kind of the back part of his truck put together. So this is where we're at right now. And now what you'll do is this whole lower section folds up underneath his chest, just like that. Oh, no, that was dumb. Folds back like that. Oh, ignore that first little comment, or that first little suggestion. Because now what happens is these pieces fold underneath his chest. So you bring these around like that, and you'll see there is a tab on the inside there of his leg piece, and there's a little slot right there, and that's where that tabs into. Just like that. You can kind of see right there. The same thing on this side. Tab it in, and get his foot kind of tucked in under his chest, just like that. You can kind of see how that goes in there. Now you can bring his the front of his car down, or the front of his truck cab, so his fists now tab together, and then these kind of sandwich around these. So this all just is a little loose, but you can kind of just tab it all in there together. And there you go. That's the front of his cab. So yeah, pretty cool so far. I really like that parts of the transformation. So now this lifts up. That's actually the last part. But now these back panels sort of accordion out. And then you'll see there's a little slot there and a little tab there. And that's where that goes, just like so. And then same thing on this side. tab it on. There we go. That's it. And then this little guy folds down. And there's tabs. Of course, there's always tabs. Fold it out. Oh, there we go. And click, click, click. Tab everything in, and there you have a nice looking Optimus Prime truck mode. Really, really nice. It doesn't have the chrome that the leader class does, but that is fine because there's silver paint on it, and silver paint is good enough for me. Nice little Autobot logo there. The flames are really nicely detailed. Yeah, overall it's a nice looking truck mode. Much cleaner. This obviously needs a little bit of silver paint there. Smokestacks need to be silver. You can kind of see there's this sheath for his sword there. And then there is weapon storage in both modes. So now you can, on the bottom here, you can see there's a little space there, and that's where his sword just slides in. One word of warning though, I can tell you right now that if you do decide to paint his sword silver, as you slide it in and out of that, it is going to scratch up the paint. So you may want to just sort of put this aside if you decide to paint the sword, rather than put it in and out there, because it'll wreck your paint job. But it does tuck in there. And then this goes on the back here, plugs into his trailer hitch. Obviously you've got a peg on the back, and it does go this way because you can kind of see there is a little bit of molding around these here that sort of fits with the molding of the shield. And then you don't have anything sticking out the back by a mile. And you just plug it in like that, and there you have final Optimus Prime. So he looks really good in that mode. And just to give you an idea of the size, I don't have any of my Age of Extinction guys transformed into car modes right now, or vehicle modes, but I do have a couple of other ones. So I've got my Dark of the Moon Soundwave, which is pretty much exactly the same size as a lot of the the Age of Extinction Bumblebee. He's almost exactly the same size, so you can get an idea there. So he looks really good next to him. And then I've got Dark of the Moon Barricade, just to sort of give you just a three vehicle mode comparison there. But yeah, no, overall, this new Voyager Prime, highly recommended. He looks great in both modes. He's got a great transformation. You know, a lot less kibble than the previous designs. You know, his weapons, at least detail-wise, are movie accurate, not color-wise, but you can fix that with the paint. But yeah, I mean, overall, definitely recommend this guy. Worth picking up if you haven't got him already. You know, hopefully you can find him at a good price. You know, if you are in Canada and you run out to Toys R Us this weekend, he is on sale. So, you know, hopefully you can score him for a reduced price. Yeah, so anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Appreciate you guys watching, or you all watching. And yeah, thanks very much. Talk to you guys, to everyone again soon.